Welcome, my friends, and welcome to your bi-weeklies going from July 16th to July 31st. So before I start, just a few quick announcements. Welcome to all new people to this channel, and I hope you're going to like it. So if you do, please also join Facebook, and for every share post, it's going to count like one entry toward a possibility of winning a free reading. Also, there is like 2-question offer for $45. You can check it on my website under July specials. And second special is X spread, which you can see from my X series released last week how this works. It is currently for $50. So let's start. Hello Aries, welcome to your bi-weeklies. So I did shuffle the cards, and I also pulled a few cards from the Love Oracle as well as from Zen Oracle. So let's see what you have here. It says pay attention to the red flags, and the signs are cautioning you. And passion, that's guys, so you allow your heart and soul to sync with joy. So I guess don't go recklessly into things, just kind of measure how much you really want to invest, because look, there is kind of a lovely thing joining these kind of two cards. But let's talk about this. It says the dream, right? So what do we see here? We see dreaming about this absolute embrace, right? So I guess, you know, if I were one of those cheesy tarot readers, I would say, oh look, you know, there's a soulmate, that kind of like stuff coming down, and you're going to meet this perfect person. Guys, hello, these are fairy tales, right? I mean, please shake this off. Soulmate is not the one who is just going to be that missing part of you, because you're the entire whole. Soulmate is somebody who will challenge you, who will make you better, or who will make you worse. Either or. It's somebody who maybe you dealt with in the past lifetimes and you didn't manage to conquer that lesson. So the lesson is repeating over and over and over again, right? And it's going to repeat until you have a different approach. So basically this fantasy that, you know, this songs and poets are sort of like fond of perpetuating sort of has this roots in these memories of the past, where we kind of like invented this beautiful thing called love. It's really amazing that we kind of hung onto it. And basically what it's saying is like, nobody, whether it is your current mate or somebody who you're dreaming of in the future, has any obligation to deliver happiness on a platter, nor they can do that even if they wanted to. So this basically says that real love comes not for trying to solve our neediness by depending on another, but by developing our own inner richness and maturity. So it's only then that we will have that much love to give, and that we drew naturally lovers too. So when I coach my clients and when I tell them, you know, you're going to be magnetized differently, and you will see all of a sudden things will to you appear the same, but the results will be different and people react differently, they go, yeah, sure, right? But then it happens. And this is basically now turnaround point for you, Aries. So I see my video is freezing, and I don't know why is that. So I'll try to continue with hope that this is not going to continue to happen. So let's see what is in for you this month. Oh, the bottom of the deck. So that was the reminder. Walking away from things that maybe didn't work, or maybe walking toward the hopes that you hoped would work. Toward the dream. Again, let's make this dream realistic. So what do we have? Yay, 3 of Swords. Some rejection. Rejection is God's protection, guys. So what happened here? What is basically, why is this the core of your reading for these 2 weeks? And then we have 6 of Pentacles, which does talk about 3 people again, and talks about interference, but it also talks about calling for equal give and take in a relationship. Not so much in emotions, but sort of like, you know, how much you really contribute. Are you expecting somebody just like always pick you up, drop you off? Do they always expect that the dinners will be ready, that the shirts will be ironed, or is this kind of mutual and kind of like equal in the end? And no, and I don't mean that you ladies have to kind of like cut the logs, and I don't mean that you guys have to iron the shirts, but like, you know, everything has its value, and that value, I think it's time. Like, I mean, are you really contributing? So what is in the root? Well, why do you feel you have been left out in the cold? We will discuss this, because right now you have Pentacles. Again, Pentacle. Like was in the past. So it was some kind of crossroad. And I remember your reading from the previous 2 weeks and monthly. This is kind of like really resonating, right? Knight of Swords. Guys, just don't overdo it. It looks like there is like still some kind of harm that has been done to you, that you're still experiencing. This is still in your thoughts, but if you try to verbalize it, it comes out really wrong, and almost looks like you cannot help yourself. So then we have Justice reversed. Yay, one of my karma cards, and this means you will possibly be wronged. But you know what? Why is this a karma card? It is karma card because it's asking you not to do really anything to strike back. So be careful of this Knight of Swords, because Justice is talking about watching your own steps, because it is calling you to really reassess how you're going to react to things. So if you react badly, you're actually creating your own karma, even though you could be, let's say, 100% right. It is just basically saying turn another cheek here. But when Justice is reversed, even though maybe temporarily you are kind of like be wronged or feel wronged, justice will ultimately be served. So how do you feel? Yeah, what is this with the 3 people? There is another pentacle, some lack of cooperation. This also could all connect to issues, domestic issues, how you handle money. This also can affect work. It could be that some of you will lose their jobs. We will see. I still don't see any combat or something here. Well, on the outside, again, there is like this passion. Well, not everything can go wrong, right? So like there is like a love. This is a huge potential. Wants are really possibilities. And here is like you're trying to decide what you want, and kind of like you are not happy with choices that have been presented to you. But voila, it is a good outcome for these 2 weeks. You got the Empress. Really lovely card to get. We are talking here, you're pulling your socks up, right? This is talking about the creativity. This is talking about, you know, a great abundance and good really energy that is available to use. And you, Aries, you looks like you really need this energy, because you're starting from 1-3, you're ending on another 3, but this is the major 3, major arcana. Anyway, so let's go a little bit deeper. So what was this in the past? Wow, another 9. Yeah, looks like you're like really focusing on a career. You really like, look, the passion. This is the passion card. So something started in the past. You took a turn, left or right, and it is paying off. Whatever you are doing, it is kind of like going well. This is talking about something long-term or standing really firmly on your 2 feet. You are like very career dedicated. Maybe some of you started their own business, and maybe this is why this is showing up here, because maybe you're wondering, oh my gosh, what have I done? You know, maybe you quit your job to start your own business, and now like, oh my gosh, am I going to survive? You see, certain things haven't died. This is death reversed. And this is definitely a card of suffering, right? Like, I mean, but even though this is a card of suffering and feeling kind of excluded, still is the card that says, even in the pain, there is somebody there with me, for me. And there somebody is from the past. And however, when the death card comes in the reverse position, it tells me this is possibly some kind of needless suffering, right? Death is always about transformation. Death is saying, look, there is no way that things can continue. So by you rejecting to accept it, you kind of get stuck. So this is actually returning you back to this. So something has to, yeah, hello, 3 cards. Something has to end. Something that ended has to end. And I think this is really talking about something somewhere where you were rejected. And maybe this is why you feel being left out in the cold. Maybe this is all about relationship, not about work. Something that you really don't want it to end. Something where you feel that maybe you have been mistreated or backstabbed. But it's also something that you are starting to kind of see the light. So let's see, what is this 3 of Swords, right? So it's not only that you are like hurting, but it's raining, right? Kind of like you, yeah, it is about something that you really, really hope for, some huge happiness and victory. Now that's a conflict. Did you win in the argument? Did you fulfill your wishes somehow by winning, or feel that you have been sort of betrayed, sort of rejected into something that was so meaningful to you, that kind of like felt you so powerful, right? Because when you see this like 6 of Wands, like all these other animals are coming down to this kitty and giving their hunt, because that's sort of like the alpha cat, right? Or alpha male. So it was some kind of public thing that happened. And maybe this is what hurts, that this kind of like was out in the open. So what is crossing? It's crossing this giving and sharing. So yeah, somebody took away a sense of your understanding about emotions. So here you have another 5, and 5 of Cups really talks about depression. And maybe you're trying to come to terms to what happened. Something didn't progress further, right? So there's like 4 of Wands reversed. 4 of Wands reversed generally talks about going to the next level. But precursor to your 4 of Wands is like this 5 of Cups. So, hey, what do we do with this 3 people? Oh my gosh, I'm so sad about this not going to this next level. So, of course, when we get hurt, when we get in pain, some of us get really aggressive. It is like easier to express things outwards, especially extroverts, right? So that's maybe why we have these harsh words, right? And harsh words while still dreaming about somebody and feeling stuck. This is a 2nd karma card, guys. And right, so we have both Justice and the Judgment, and they're both reversed. So you fell into a negative cycle over here. So this is still saying, because you have a 10 here and you have a 10 here, that, and then you have a 1 here, and then you have 11. So 1 1 1 1 1. So you're kind of actually becoming a volcano. This is why you have this passion. It's kind of like coming up to erupt, because you have this Empress as the end. So I know it's going to end well, but certainly you're going through lots of back and forth and understanding why. See, the healing is taking place. The healing is going forward, and very much like here, feeling shunned, feeling excluded. Here, you even though, you see, this is going to be a great lesson, even though something unjust happened, you're going to find a safe place to fall. People will give you a hand. You will be able to find people who understand you, right? And this again could talk about losing a partner. Maybe you're going to talk about, you know, this King of Pentacles. But if this is about work environment, you may have a problem with your boss, and that's going to be cured. So even though initially the thing started kind of like awkward, you're going to come to terms about a person that maybe has an impact on your life. Somebody who is very stubborn, which very much could be you, right? But this to me generally talks about, this is to me a husband card, or like a taken person card. So have you been with somebody who was unavailable, or who has been in a relationship with somebody else and they continue being committed to someone else? And you may be focused inward, which is really healthy to kind of like digest the situation, but you were also focusing on your career, or kind of like establishing yourself, feeling stronger about yourself. But this is not to say that there's still not some kind of like hurt brewing underneath, because here this is that overwhelming sense of what happened and why this couldn't work out. And 3 is a crowd to me, is this card. Yeah, it is like somebody you really felt connected, your soulmate. But this is normal. There you go, King of Swords. Yeah, you will go back and forth from loving very much to hating very much. And this is just a normal part of healing, guys. Just, you know, don't become Judge Judy on someone here, right? You have to really be happy about this soulmate card coming over here, because this is why I think you're pay attention to the red flags, is pretty much paying attention to yourself as well, because I think this is a time to resolve your karma. You already have 2 out of 4 karma cards, and this is a biggie as it is, right? And it's asking you, karma is asking you to lift yourself up, to kind of like resolve issues. And it's easier said than done, I get it, right? But having an ability to understand what kind of love you want and what you will not tolerate in spite of you, and like that, this is not all about winning, is actually really important. So let's see what about your environment. Yeah, again, this lots of intellectual, you're thinking, you're really in a thinking mode for these 2 weeks. Yeah, there is this great love that you kind of like see a potential, or you have seen potential, but it looks like it was lots of arguing, or it was a battle. And again, I see the 3 people saying, look, you know, nobody won here, nothing to see, let's move on, everybody's hurt, everybody's bleeding. 5 of Swords, and then 8 of Swords reversed means, okay, you know what, I gotta get out of here. I don't know how, but probably it's not as bad as it is. It's kind of like people are probably trying to focus you into get back on track. You are trying to, but you don't know really how to do it, because there's like indecision initially how to do it. Maybe you're taking some rest, maybe you're a little bit bored about everything, but really quickly you're getting on your own horse or on your own cat, and Knight of Wands is charging ahead. It's really going on with the program, right? But just be careful, pace yourself, because you have another Knight. As you see, this Knight is like really going forward and jumping, and this Knight is not really moving fast. It looks like kind of like depends on so many other people. This makes it even worse. When it's reversed, it goes really slow. So it's going to be bursts, right? What they want. Do I want to go fast? Do I want to go slow? What do I want? So the answer is in your creativity. The answer is your children. The answer is like your intellectual children, like, right? Maybe your creative work, maybe, you know, how you interact with others. There we go. That's the card. So Six of Cups talks about children again, but it talks also about ideals. It talks about you looking back and thinking about someone or something that has been so perfect, and you kind of like have this perfect relationship in front of you, and you're almost romanticizing, because the Empress could be this perfect person you're putting on a pedestal and you want nothing else. And this is why you're actually rejecting. Maybe people are coming to you fast and slow and you're just waiting. And that's you guys. Look, the Empress and the Emperor. So almost here. And maybe this is the partner that you're dreaming about. And we are going back to the beginning of this reading. So guys, sorry to say, but ground yourself. This is what these pentacles did initially, but toward the end, you are going into wonder world. You're going into, okay, I need this perfect love, right? I need, you know, this looking in the sky, the bright star, and I need my Emperor or the Empress. Truth is, again, going back to the dream, and every person has red flags, and every person has passion. So it's not going to come to you. Rather ask yourself what you can do to actually get out of them the best and minimize the worst, because you actually can be a catalyst to that. Okay, so what do I need to clarify for you guys? Okay, so before I move forward, which signs do I see? I see Scorpio, I see Aquarius, of course, Taurus, Libra, Aries, again. That's it. So these signs could even kind of like be connected to these issues. So what is fell on this King of Pentacles? It could be, yeah, well, I told you Libra already. So yeah, it could be a third party here again. For those of you who have been involved with the King of Pentacles, also can be Taurus again. But I think it's more or less talking about really the nature of a relationship, to kind of like something turned awkward, and maybe you were the one who were supposed to be chosen, not somebody else, and like this is why you kind of like fell. Maybe you won basically a battle, but you didn't win the war, and hence this is kind of really feeling bad. So I want to see this. What is like this feeling of powerlessness? Okay, what is this for Aries from 16th to 31st? And guys, this too shall pass. Wow, it is about you, right? It is about you. Again, back and forth. Do I move forward? Do I move backward? It is kind of like this confusion. See how to function, like the service card, how to function, which doors will open, which doors closed on me. And really, like what good can come out of it, or why did I get what I got? Because this is the same question you have in justice. Why did I get this? What have I done to deserve this, sort of a thing? Okay, what is this justice for Aries? So again, like you had a service, you had a servant here, right? So some messages, something didn't move forward. One person, you probably just have been notified, I am not taking this journey with you. It is time to kind of like separate on this journey. I'm going with somebody else. And you could have maybe even received this message in a very matter-of-fact way. So okay, so fears and hopes. Are you going forward or are you going backward? Let's see what is the underlying emotion there. Let's you guys go again. You want to feel stabilized, you want to feel accomplished. You actually, some of you really feel like you want to marry, and the career also is actually very important here. Again, like fear is like, yeah, I cannot take pain and hurt, and like you see joyfulness reversed. Yeah, that's, and we had a death here, which is actually good. Like certain parts of you have to kind of be stabilized, right? And this dream is, as I said, time to grow up for this dream and realize that people have back and good things and bad things. But if somebody is including the third party in the deal, that's a deal breaker, right? So you should have like 2 or 3 or 5 deal breakers, but deal breakers shouldn't be like he or she has red hair and stuff like that, but some huge character flows, like they steal, they are not giving and sharing the relationship, they cheat, kind of those big things. And other than that, you should try to work it out. Okay, so see this Emperor. Yeah, this is like some kind of depression you see about this person that is like you're feeling for here, left out in the cold. So what is about the soulmate is the last thing I want to clarify, because you obviously are waking up to understanding this passion, to understanding like a direction. You're still not fully blooming. It's just, you're just budding out. That passion is budding out. So what is this soulmate vision over here? Because you have both 1 and 2 of Cups, which is really, really good. What is the soulmate vision for Aries? Yeah, you kind of feel that the soulmate is now lost, right? Because the conversation is either this card, that you took it with them, it's melancholy, and this could be the lost person that you feel. It's either, you know, some kind of animosity between the two of you, or somehow is not there, but maybe you're craving conversation. But if you do, and if you get in contact, just be very careful how you conduct this conversation, because this can really get you in trouble. Actually, let me just see this King of Swords, so maybe you can get some kind of warning over there. King of Swords, yeah, it's a third party. You guys are going to say, you did this to me. You know what, look, I mean, if it was a third party and if you were cheated on, why to even bother even having a conversation? Yeah, intimacy with a third party. Like it's really clear what happened here. I don't need to clarify this, guys. So okay, let's pull it together. You are fixing certain parts of your life, especially how to go forward and how to function, and you're doing a pretty good job there. Actually, really good job. However, there is some kind of stroke of things not really going in your favor for the first week, like until the 23rd, and then you're going to go through bittersweet love-hate kind of like parts, and it could be even within an hour going back and forth and trying to examine what you want. And you do want to get to this passion, but you're also being pulled back to like some memories of the past. So what basically is karma asking you to do this time period is like to really realize that soulmate is not a fictional character, not a package deal that you get from Amazon.com. It is someone that you really have to slowly integrate with. Where was it? Conversation. We had it somewhere, right? So the conversation is extremely important, and this is how you realize these red flags. This is how you have to say no when, you know, you run into them, because the moment when you don't say no to a line in the sand, how can you expect that anything else will be respected? So, and it's kind of like always a renegotiation in every relationship. You can actually, even if you're 30 years married, you can still renegotiate your marriage or your relationship. It always happens. So Aries, I love your comments. Oh my gosh, the last time you were so awesome. I really appreciate that. So please subscribe, like, and share, and yeah, join me on my Facebook pages for kind of like more information about tarot and maybe some positive boost messages. And of course, for private reading, please contact me via my website, which is in the bottom. Thank you very much, everybody. All the best. And monthlies are coming out in about a week. So until then, I love you.